My name is Ruth Mutanda, and originally I'm from Zimbabwe. Today, as the topic says, we're going to talk about emotional grief, but to me, I'm not going to talk about emotional grief based on somebody's death. I'm going to talk about the grief that I went through when I divorced, something different. I said I'm Ruth. I run a charity organization called Ruth for Women. Why Ruth for Women? Because I found that I can be a representative for women. I can speak on behalf of women who go through domestic violence, as well as children brought up in abusive homes. So today, I believe in social justice and the empowerment that embraces women to function as strong entities. I come from a broken marriage. I was married for 32 years, married to someone who was quite prominent, a diplomat, someone who had liberated our country, and this is someone who is very powerful. And today, I'm very proud to address the audience on the subject of coping with that emotional grief of divorcing. Marriage, as you know, it's a two-way process whereby you give and take, but I'm defining divorce today as a one-way. Why do I say it's a one-way? It's because the outcome is negative, which leaves you in a state of limbo. Hence, it brings negativity to women, who is the fabric of the relationship and the society she lives in. To me, when I got married, I thought marriage was going to be easy, but believe me, it turned out to be the hardest and toughest decision that I had made. The toil was not only on me, but also it affected my children, especially my youngest boy, and being the only boy out of three girls. In Africa, when we talk about marriage, we are talking of something that is very, very important, and it also involves everyone. When I say everyone, I mean it involves your relatives, it involves your in-laws, it involves your neighbor, it involves everyone in the society. And because of that, you are seen as somebody who is strong and who is not supposed to go through anything or whatever. And whenever you are going through something, you have to be strong. But the thing is, when you have married your Peter, you are now responsible for everyone in that family. So that means you're carrying their emotions, you're carrying their well-being, yet your own emotions are not acknowledged at all. Whatever you are going through, whether you want to put it across, nobody acknowledges it. When someone breaks the relationship, you become a broken vessel, and everyone in the society is laughing at you, and you are viewed as a failed person. And the culture makes it harder for us to cope with the divorce process. From a cultural perspective, where you come from as Ruth Mutanda, people clap hands as you enter the marriage, and some people are there for you. But once you say you are divorcing or you are divorced, they are the same people who will condemn you. They are the same people who will be laughing at you. They are the same people who are labeling you as somebody who is a failure. And when you say you want to get married, you are entering into a journey. What is this journey? The journey whereby you are expecting rosy things, you are expecting your marriage to work, you are expecting to bring up your children as children who are coming from a well-being family. But to me, it became a lonely journey. When you divorce, you are now traveling alone. You have no one to share your feelings. You have no answer to the questions that people are asking you. Neither do you have answers to the questions that you are asking yourself. Many people, when they hear about grief, they always associate it with death. But little do people know that divorce, when you divorce, you have emotional grief. Why do I say you go through emotional grief? Because you have lost a partner that you thought, this is my life partner. You have lost everything that you dreamt of being married. You have lost what your life was going to be. All hopes of the future, they are just gone. However, let it be known that you can never plan how to deal with the after effects, but you have to be prepared to manage your emotional recovery during and after divorce. Like anyone else, I went through anger 1 minute, and the next minute I was faced with denial. But through it, I came to a point of acceptance. There is that uncertainty of the future that lingers in you. One thing for sure, especially in a society like ours, the African society, you know you have to be that a person who is going to be not repaired. Being broken is both tragic and final. If you are broken, you are on the scrap heap, while the consumer can always find a replacement. We are not consumer non-durables, and we never wanted to be duped by emotional market traders. My point being, I've been grossly emotionally hurt, but it's time to take the bold step of gaining a sense of selfhood. The same Ruth who was broken yesterday is now a powerful individual championing issues that affects women who are going through domestic violence, who are going through the crisis of broken marriage. Yes, it's normal. You will go through sleepless nights, loss of appetite, a general emotional roller coaster. But however, it is said time heals. Indeed, it has healed me. I am that woman now today who stands as a champion, who is motivating those women, who is there to tell people that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Even though the going might be tough, but today I stand with my head high, and here I am. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Call Lily. That was the SMS I received on 30th of July from my brother. It's about Tom, it said. And I knew something was wrong. So I called my sister-in-law. And the first thing she told me was, nobody has died. I was like, thank God. But that was the beginning of a very, very long and tiring and painful and emotional journey. My brother had been jogging for 6 years every day from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. He used the same road. He went running for 1 hour, Monday to Saturday, except on Sundays. On that fateful day, he went jogging, and when he was coming back, somebody attacked him with what seemed to be a metallic object on the back of his head with an intention to kill him. He was found on the street with blood oozing from his ears, but he was still alive. They took him to hospital, and he could understand what people were saying, but he couldn't talk. He would nod his head, and when you asked him what was going on, he would just say there was a lot of pain. But we were so naive. We had no idea the intensity of how much he had been hurt. So we thought he was going to get out of hospital. It's just an attack. And I went there every day to give him breakfast when he was in hospital. And on Thursday, when I got to the hospital, he wasn't waking up. So I talked to him and tried to get him to wake up, but he wasn't. And it took what it seemed like an hour to get him to open his eyes. So I gave him breakfast, and we had a conversation that didn't make any sense. But I thought, it's just an attack. He's going to be fine. So I let him sleep, and I went back to the hotel. And the next thing I knew, we got a call from the doctors that he had a convulsion. So we went back, and we were told that he had to have immediate brain surgery. And the chances were he might die on the table. So what did we have to do? Sign on? Give the doctors an order to go ahead or give up? We said we'll go with a 50-50 chance. But the surgery never happened. We left, the doctor said his blood pressure was too low. They couldn't operate on him. And they gave us the news to sign his life so that he could be taken off life support. How could we? What right did we have? We were not gods. So we said, let him stay there until we found a way, because we thought he would come out of it. And the doctor said, no, he's not going to. His organs had already started shutting down, or that's what the doctor said. And if we left him under support, he was going to start rotting. That's what the doctor said. So we were given a few days to say goodbyes. And on the day that he died, I got there in the morning with my husband, and I was playing this song, and I held his hand, and there's nothing I could do. I couldn't help him. I couldn't stop him from dying. But I was there. And I got so angry at who did this to him. He was a good man. He didn't fight with anybody. And we didn't know. But we had to put that aside to deal with his death. We had to organize his funeral. We had to find the casket. We had to arrange his death certificate. We had to deal with everything. And you sort of mask your emotions to get going, and that's what we did. And my brother and I, he lives in Kuala Lumpur, we went choosing caskets, and I remember having a conversation with myself. Why do we have such boring caskets? Why is it that when we die, people are buried in brown or gray or whatever? Why don't we celebrate life when we die? And I said, when I'm healed, I'm going to start something to celebrate my brother's life by decorating caskets. Live your life, celebrate death the way you left your life. So we dealt with that, and we buried my brother, and we came back. We don't know who did it. So I said, I'm going to do everything I can to get whoever killed my brother. So I was so angry, and I was in denial. So I was going through all these stages of grief, because you go through stages. And then I got depressed. I got to a level where I said, I started bargaining with God. Why didn't you take me? It's just another stage. And I thought of my mother. If I died, she would have lost another child. So having this conversation with everybody, I said, I will deal with it. I got depressed. I bargained with God. He didn't listen. I was still here. I didn't go anywhere. And I got so much anger. And I remember my mom saying, you have to let go. You have to let your brother go. But I can't. And that is also okay. And I started talking to somebody, a grief counselor, a lady who told me, you have to find a way to communicate to your brother because you feel that you want to talk to your brother. What is it that you can do? So I started writing about it. So I write to my brother now. I have conversations with him, but my way of letting my emotions go is writing to him. I talk to him. Sometimes I see him in my dreams, sometimes I not. But there was a way of dealing with it. And then I started opening up to my friends, letting them in to understand what I was going through because they couldn't reach me. My husband couldn't reach me. My family couldn't reach me because I was isolated. And you realize by doing that, you're also blocking the people and you're not helping them heal as well. So it's also important to understand that when you're going through emotional grief, the people who love you are also hurting. So you have to open up to the people who are around you. Let them love you. Let them heal with you. Find a support system. Be it your colleagues, your friends, your family. Do something about it. Find a way to channel it out. If it's boxing, if it's running, find a way to physically express what you're feeling. It helps with the healing. And also, remember that it's okay to cry. It's okay to be totally broken because your life changes when you lose somebody. And there's nothing you can do about it. So it's okay to feel vulnerable, but don't ignore it because there's a myth of thinking that when you ignore something, it will go away. No, it doesn't. You have to deal with the pain, and that's part of it. And that is totally okay to be vulnerable, to cry, to feel depressed, to bargain, to have anger. It's totally okay. There's no plan for grieving. There's no process. There's no time limit. It's just you letting your emotions come out. You deal with them. You handle them. They say, I want to be heard. Hear your emotion. Listen to them. And you're going to be fine. And lastly, don't forget to celebrate the people you've lost because you had 5, 6, 10 years with them. Just always remember that. And I'm doing a lot of things in memory of my brother. I'm still angry. I still have conversation with God bargaining. Why? I'm still saying I will find justice for him. I'm still writing to my brother. Sometimes I tell him in my dreams, he said, you need to let me go. I said, no, I'm stubborn, I'm not going to. So we have arguments in our conversation. I'm still writing to him. I'm still here. I'm still living. And he has a son. And we're going to touch his life through his son. So whatever it is that you're going, if you're going through grief right now, reach out to the people who you know will give you support and find the strength in you. And when you don't find that strength, it's also totally okay. Just feel the emotions. Just accept them. Thank you.
I'm going to wake you up. I woke up this morning with my feet on the ground, and I said to myself, it's going to be an awesome day. Went in front of the mirror, when we were brushing our teeth. Went in front of the mirror, looked at the woman that was staring back at me, and I said, you know something? You are a beautiful creature. And sky is the limit. And I love you. I love me. And you know something? How many of you woke up this morning and said to yourself, I'm in love with myself? How many of you woke up this morning and told somebody else, I love you, or if I love him? Nobody? You did. That's love. That's sharing love with yourself. We are saying this to our children. We are telling them that I love you. We are saying it to our lovers, our husband, our friends. We even say it to totally strangers. But to ourselves, that's a hard one. And the best gift that you can give to yourself is love yourself. The moment you start loving yourself, that's the moment you can give to other people, even your own children, though. And what happens is that we forget to tell ourselves that, to remind ourselves how beautiful, how strong we are. Why? Or maybe we have to ask the question, why not? Why aren't we able to tell ourselves, I love myself? Maybe we have to get naked. No, don't address. I'm not going to do that either, because at my age, we have to use a lot of strength to get it like this. But get naked. Go back to your authenticity. Go back to when you were born naked, the environment that you grew up in. And then you will see what forms you to bring you to the point that you are now, to the woman that you are now. And the thing is to go to the clutter of your dysfunction. And let me tell you, we all have some skeletons in the closet. Because if you don't have one, you're not living, you're not breathing. We all have one. And it's not one, we have a lot of them. And until you make the choice to deal with it, that's the moment when you really start to live. Go back to your authenticity. Make that list. So I'm going to give you some homework. I was told I got 5 minutes, so I'm prepared for 5 minutes. What I want you to do is when you go home, find yourself that quiet spot. You know, children are not bothering you, even the man is not bothering you. You go sit down and make your list. Make your clutter list. Write it down. Write down the grief that you're going through. Maybe it's about that dad that wasn't there, or somebody told you a long time ago that you're not worth something, and that's why you are not able to be successful in your business, or not even are able to hold your own child because the abuse that happened in your household. Go to the clutter list. It's going to be hard, it's going to be confrontation, but do it. And then when you made that list, go to the other one. Get yourself a piece of paper and start writing down all the lies that you've been telling yourself. The lies that, because of the fact that I was raised in a home where there was no father, or where my dad was cheating, I will never be able to trust a man. Or because of the fact that I was raised in a home where there was sexual abuse, nobody will ever touch me. Or just the anger that we grew up with. You know, the lies that we tell each other. Because your past doesn't determine your future, but it's the choice you make to go through all that grief. So start the work. Start the work, my sisters. Go to the clutter, start the work. And then you fly. Yep, then you fly. Clean house, then you fly. First, love yourself. Fly. And you can do it, but you have to do the work. So my sisters, I love myself. It's an ongoing construction. Love myself, love you, and you can do it. Fly. I'm Marjorie Cunha. I'm an inspirational speaker. Like my page on Facebook, Women Talk. Let's talk about the clutter, do the work, and then fly. Thank you.
Hi, or rather say hello. I was divorced 12 years ago, and that basically destroyed my life completely. I had emotional roller coaster, sometimes up, sometimes completely down. I went into depression, unhappy, lonely, tired of life. I didn't know what to do, abandoned by my own family, my friends, thinking somehow I get rid of this depression thing. And depression is very funny. It is not always same. Sometimes it comes, sometimes goes. But overall, you are down. You feel like you're in a big S. Shit. Now, the question is not about depression anymore. The question is how I dealt with that. Was that grief? Yes. Was that sadness? Absolutely. Was it happiness? Yes. Was it anger? Yes. I was angry. Angry to myself. How I failed it. Angry towards my wife. Why it happened? Why she did it? She lied many things. Why she lied? Why? But you can't find these answers once all is gone. Now, how did I handle it? First thing I did, exercise every day without a miss. I wrote down what I felt. I was angry, I wrote it down. I didn't send anywhere, but I wrote it down to bring these emotions out of me. I educated myself, study about the emotions, how it works, what's the dynamics, how can I manage them. I did Anolue, I did hypnotherapy, I did psychology to understand all of these things. But still, it didn't heal properly. Then I went for counseling for a couple of months. I felt better. I felt better more when I started contributing to other people's lives. That's actually healed me. That was more powerful. The problem is when we limit ourselves to ourselves, it means it's I, it's me. And I and me is always a smaller package. When you say we, is a bigger package. When we share their lives, when we share our lives to other people, that makes us connected. That makes us one. Instead of telling my story again and again to people, I said, let me hear their story. Let me hear what they are saying, how they are feeling. That helped me. That healed me. I never used to love myself. I said, it's all right. It's a difficult thing to love yourself. Like my sister mentioned, love. Yes, love. Love yourself. And how do you love yourself? You say, I have done these things wrong. I cannot love myself. First, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself first. Say to yourself, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's okay to make mistakes. We are humans, aren't we? Say to yourself, softly, tenderly, lovingly, I love you. I love myself. Look in the mirror, in your eyes. Say, I harmed you a lot. Please forgive me. I love you. And then go out to your family, your loved ones. Say, I'm sorry, I was harsh to you. Heal. Because we cannot heal other people unless we heal ourselves. Journey starts within to without. Grief is not a simple thing. It's not like just sadness. It's quite complex. It's a very complex emotion. It comes along with anger, unhappiness, sadness, loneliness, all kind of emotional disturbance. So we have to deal with each and everyone slowly, every one thing, in order to understand and feel better. Share emotions. Don't stop. Just don't, contain in yourself. Counseling is another option, which I mentioned earlier. Read books. Absolutely. I indulged into books. Went to many seminars. Might know Tony Robbins. All seminars. Going there, learning, healing, because it let your emotions flow. And when your emotions are stuck, it doesn't hurt your brain, it hurts your body as well. You'll find a lot of different disease, because emotional is energy. It flows in your body. If you're happy, good. And once you are unhappy, one more thing happens. You are super negative. Every good thing you find negative something into it. When you're happy, somebody, push you, it's okay, you're happy still. But when you're negative, how you dare? You're about to beat or do something else. Why? Because negativity is paramount. So my suggestion is only this thing. Start healing within first. Once you heal yourself, you can heal other people as well. You don't have to go out, it will happen itself. Because we are not alone. It looks like we are sitting in separate chairs, like it's me, it's you, but in reality, we are not. The breath you are taking in or out, somebody has already shared it. Isn't it true? We are part of this whole cosmos. Life is not just one event. It's a bigger phenomena. And once we see that way, then all the difficulties of our life is just like a pebble on the beach. Nothing more than that. Yeah, we feel challenges in life, but it happens. That's the meaning of life, isn't it? If everything is happy, it means we are dead. It's not life anymore. I hope you agree with me what I'm saying. So best thing to deal with grief is go out. Don't restrict yourself. Share your emotions. Cry, no problem. Guys cry? Yes, do. I cried. What's wrong with it? It's normal. Go for rituals. Ancient time, we used to have rituals. We don't do anymore. Go for rituals. Read books. Write down your plans. What are you going to do next? Learn some therapies or share your life. That's all, really. Thank you.
Marjorie, if there are questions, you all